Good morning. Perfect. Okay. I think we're live. Good morning, guys. Thank you for joining again this edition, November edition of Frugal Feeds. I'm quite excited about what we have to talk about today. We have two amazing ladies. It's always an amazing thing having multiple guests on the show. And today I'm all about girl power, which means that I have not one, but two amazing guests joining me today. They're very powerful in their own ways. Mothers, not only are the mothers, they're professionals. Not only are they professionals, they are businesswomen, businesswomen, as far as I know them to be. But I'm just gonna give my guest and you guys a few seconds to join, share, invite people. In the meantime, let me find something Christmassy. If you remember, our the theme for the show this month is basically counting down to the holidays, counting down to Christmas. So I am very much in the Christmas spirit. I am very much in the Christmas spirit, so bear with me. Again, the music I'm using or the songs I use are not mine. I give credit to whom credit is due. So in the meantime, enjoy some Christmas songs. I will be right back. If you're joining, please share. And while you're sharing, I'm sharing as well. Okay. We're just hanging on for everybody else to join, and we are sharing. So if you're just joining, thank you for joining. Please do the needful and share. Thank you for joining. Welcome. All right. I think we are done. We are ready. Perfect. Let me turn down my music. So this week's, I realize that I forget to introduce myself often. So my name is Phoebe with Frugal Feeds. I run the Frugal Feeds platform. Essentially, what is the Frugal Feeds platform? I am all about putting out financial advice, financial information that would benefit us. I am big on the immigrant population because I am an immigrant, and I not only speak to the immigrant population, I speak to low income other communities, right? Other community, disadvantaged communities that I believe this information would help them. And if you're not from any of these communities, that's fine. It doesn't mean that you cannot stay engaged, right? Information is information, and information is power. Okay, so professionally, I work in financial services. I've worked as a portfolio manager. I've worked in the capacity as a financial advisor. So every information we bring to you, I try to make it accurate as possible. But of course, remember, everything is just for informational purposes only. I don't mean to give you direct advice because I can't give you direct advice. I don't know you. I don't know your personal situation, and everyone's situation is not the same. Perfect. So today we're going to be talking about what to do in terms of job search and starting a business in this COVID environment. The two ladies I'm going to be having speak with us come on today. They're professionals. They've been working in this environment. Some of us are even getting new jobs within the COVID environment. I'm going to share my own experience with job interviewing, and I'm also going to share some business experience as well as they. How do we succeed in a COVID era? I know a vaccine, we're closer, much closer to a vaccine now than before, but no matter what happens, business is no longer business as usual, right? Looking for a job, employment is no longer employment as usual. A lot of things have changed, and they're changing for the better, right? There are a lot of disruptions going on, and it is changing for the better. Okay, so I'm gonna be introducing. Well, let me before I do that, let me just also give a little brief. I was reading the news, and I was just trying to understand where unemployment was. We were unemployment wise and growth wise. This year, GDP, gross domestic product, with of the U.S. is going to be generally it runs on average, I believe around 5%. Don't quote my exact numbers on this. It runs at around 5% growth. So we see a 5% growth generally. So this year we're going to be hovering at 2.53, if at anything. And it's not just the US, around the world, right? A lot of countries are actually seeing negative growth. So government spending has shot up, businesses are revenue is down, people are not spending. The good news for you and me is that because we're not spending, we're generally saving. We have a whole lot more disposable income now than we did last year or before. So that's a plus, or that's a good thing coming out of this environment. But what does it mean for employment? um, a lot of employers are laying off. And I don't know if any of the ladies can even talk about this a little bit. A lot of employers, we are starting to see permanent layoffs. So if you're in an industry that is more protected against layoffs, that's great. Like the healthcare industry, technology is one of those industries that are growing this year, communication services, right? But if you're in financial services and any other auxiliary sectors, you are going to experience a layoff. So, how do you prepare for that? If you do experience a layoff, how do you turn that into something? How do you monetize that, right? How do you turn that from a negative to a positive? We're all going to be talking about that. So I'm going to be bringing on, introducing my first guest, Kia Marie. Kia Marie is someone I have known for some time, and I certainly trust her business acumen, her professional acumen, and she's going to be coming on talking to us. She currently is the operations manager, I believe. I think it's correct, but I'm just going to let her introduce herself. She currently is the operations manager of Transverge Freight Systems LLC. So, Keyshawn, come say hi. Welcome.
Hello, 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 hello.
Good
Thank you for
morning.
the introduction, Phoebe. That was awesome. So, as you stated, I am the operations manager and an executor for Transverge Freight Systems. Transverge is 2 years old, a little over 2 years old right now. We started this journey um, in a few years ago, of course. So, what questions do you have for me, Phoebe?
Well, I just needed a brief introduction. Just hang tight. Thank you for
Mhm.
joining. I'm going to and bring on my other guest, also Marie. So what are the odds, right? We have two Maries on the show today. Kia Marie and Marie. So without further ado, Marie is she's I'm just gonna let her introduce herself. She's very dynamic. She functions in different areas. She's also a woman of God, as well as Keyshawn. That's one aspect I didn't mention. They're both women of God. And as a spiritual person, that speaks to me as well. So I'm going to bring in Marie, who is a professional. And I know that she also runs her own business. I will let her come on and talk to us. Introduce yourself to us, Marie. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for
morning.
having me here, Phoebe. I'm Marie. I am in the agile space, as an agile consultant and project manager role. So I am happy to be on your show today. Thanks for having
Awesome. Awesome. Well,
me.
thank you both for agreeing. I know that you're very busy. You're both very busy. You're both moms, and you're doing your own thing in the space that you occupy. So, if you're just joining us, please share the stream. Please give us a thumbs up so we can know you can hear us and you're engaged. We'd love to hear from you. Welcome, Cynthia. Welcome, George. And everybody else that's on, I can't see you. Welcome to my YouTube guys. Welcome, you guys are troopers. Okay, so Keyshawn, you've told us a little bit about you. Can you just give us a brief of your professional experiences? What are some of the things that industries you've worked in? And then we can talk about what led you into transitioning over to starting Transverge or being a founding member of Transverge. And then I'm going to go over to Marie and ask you the very same question.
So, as just like Phoebe, I have a financial experience, like background. I always worked in operations for the banks, and I do currently still work for a brokerage firm that is well known. And I've always worked in the brokerage operations platform. So I did everything from loss prevention to estates processing. That's just kind of been my background. And how I actually got started was, well, I'm gonna just say a little bit about me. I had some friends that always had their own businesses, and they always asked me questions, asked me to read stuff for them. And by all means, I'm not a writer, but I do have a way with words. So um, they will always say to me, like, you need to go and do your own thing. And I'll be like, no, 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 that is not my background. That's not my thing. That's your thing. Let me clock in and do my 9 to 5. Um, work my overtime. That was it. But of course, that is corporate institutionalization.
Right.
I realized, and I met I met a wonderful guy 3 years ago, and he was actually working on his plan before he started his business. And I'm so nosy, guys. I ask questions to anybody. I'm like, so what are you working on? And he was like, well, I'm trying to start my trucking company. I was like, hmm, very interesting. But it's nothing like watching a man work his money, right? We all like a man
Yeah.
that take care of his money. And so it's just watching him go through the process of actually getting started before he started. And, one conversation led to the next. So I actually ended up becoming a liaison to helping him walk side by side and partnering with him to build this yet what's called Transverge Freight Systems. So here we are. Like I said, we've been here for over 2 years, and so that's how I got here.
Awesome. Well, thank you for giving us that rundown. I'm just going to pause for now and not ask further questions concerning what you've just said. I'm going to go over to Marie. Marie, I know, or let's just say Marie from what to differentiate both Maries.
Yeah.
I know there's several things you're doing. I know there's several things you have done in the past, and you're a professional woman, right? And one thing I know about you is that you're very determined. So you've been climbing the corporate ladder the last few years as quickly as a bird can fly. So my question for you is, um, what is your professional experience? Why the sector you work in, what interests you, and then the other things that you do by the side. I know you run a training program. What is the motivation behind running that training program?
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, being an immigrant in this country, there are a lot of things that, at the beginning you kind of struggle. Where do I fit in? Where do I start? Coming to a place where you don't have, let's say, a family that can guide you, mom, dad, you kind of like, hey, I'm gonna try several things and see what works for me. And there's one thing about having a passion, and another thing about building yourself to the place where you feel like, hey, I've come to that area in my life where I can run for my passion, I can go for my dreams, my goals, and everything. So being an immigrant, I started somewhere. I've done a lot of things in the past. I cannot even start naming them here. I believe it's a struggle that we all face when we got here. And I've been for a couple of years now. I've been in the IT field, and helping teams, building products, software applications for business companies, financial institutions. And I pretty much right now being in an agile consultant, I work with a lot of people. I deal a lot with managers, product owners, solution owners, and a lot of people that I deal with. And I it's been a struggle. It's been a fight.
Yeah.
Where I am now. It's been a fight. It didn't come in a day.
Yeah.
I had to encounter a lot of challenges. Starting with my accent, coming from Africa. Yeah, hey, and what you're saying. What is she
Yeah.
talking about? So it's been a struggle, but I am proud of myself that I had to stick in,
Yep.
determined. I didn't give up until where I am now. So, um, apart from that, I do have a lot of trainings that I do to support, people that are struggling. How do I get into, especially those that want to get into corporate? Where do I start? I feel like, is this something I can do? I hear people saying that to me all the time. I don't think I can do this. What can
Yeah.
you not do? If you have
Right.
the right resource, if you're determined, you can
Mm-hmm.
pretty much do anything you set your mind to do. So I kind of, work with people that, want to get into corporate, they don't know how to start. I do some trainings that help them, and I think I'll just go ahead and stop there for now. So,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So you both mentioned something with being working professionally, and you both work in corporate America, right?
mhm,
Marie, to your point, one of the things I've heard people say, especially immigrants, this comes a lot from immigrants, and it's like they look at corporate America like this far off thing where it's like, how do you even, oh my God, you work for corporate America. You must be so lucky to have a desk job. And I don't think I can ever get in. I mean, and as women, right? We cannot distance the fact that we are women in corporate America, even in the minority, right?
Right.
So what advice would you have, Key Marie? I'm gonna start with you first. What advice would you have for somebody who is not sure if corporate America they can get into? Like, where do you start? Corporate America is not this big, humongous giant, right?
mhm,
That's what I'm trying to get at. So, like, how do you start? Where do you get in from interviewing? Well, from first finding the type of sector you want to work in, right?
mhm,
Yeah.
To
Well,
interview to getting a job.
yeah, I think for me, being a part of Transverge has really opened my mind, right? I think that first we have to figure out, like, how do I get outside of myself?
okay.
And I think a lot of us don't do that. So Transverge has helped me to see outside of Keyshawn, because
Hmm.
I felt like it was those times where I tried to apply for those manager roles or those assistant manager roles, and I just was not getting them. And I had to think about, like, why. Sometimes you're not destined for that desk job.
Mhm,
Sometimes your greatness is so much bigger than you think they are. Like, you think it is. Like, sometimes we look at that desk job and we're like, yes, I'm about to come punch this clock, work this overtime. I can pay my bills. I can buy my kids some sneakers and whatever he else he wants. That was apparently that was just the icing. That wasn't even a cake. Like, that was the icing without the cake.
mhm,
And when I got into Transverge, I started to realize that wow, there are so many trucking companies, there are so many truck drivers that are just small, small individuals running their companies, but they're not running it the right way because they don't have access. Like Marie said, they don't have the resources to actually put themselves out there. They will run the company. They'll drive the truck and pick up the load and drop the load and do all of those things. But no one ever, people will tell you how to get something, but they will not tell you how to keep it. And
Hold
that's the
on,
thing.
hold on, hold on. Okay, let's break this down. Let's go slow. There are too many things you've dropped on us right now. The
I'm
first one
sorry.
is that a desk job, that desk job that you're looking, well, first of all, you have to learn how to get out of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether with starting your own business or with a desk job. And sometimes that desk job is not for you. Your main goal, your main purpose in this life may not be that desk job, because how many of us have that desk job and we're unfulfilled? It's like we cannot wait to clock out at the end of the day and run. We can't wait for the weekend, right? So you mentioned that that's one thing that stood out, and it is sometimes it can just be a cake without, it can be the icing
I
without
do
the cake,
without the cake.
or
Without
just
the
a mirage. Okay, continue. Sorry, I just had
cake. Well, I mean, I think it's just, it was just, it just became, it just becomes more relevant to me every day. Every day that I'm working in Transverge versus every day I go to corporate, I I can compare how I feel. And if I can compare how I feel, that's a problem. Like if I'm happy when I'm working in one place and I'm not happy when I'm doing something else,
hmm
there is a problem. And you need to figure out what it is that you can do to fix it. Now, who would have ever thought that this girl here will be working alongside someone that has been in the transportation industry for a long time? He's been driving. I knew nothing, but I put myself in position to learn, and I still put myself in position to learn. And so you have to just network your way, and not just network your way, but learn from others that have already been doing this before you. There's going to be plenty of information out there, but it's up to you to decide what information is going to be valuable for you and where your business is going and how you want to be perceived out here in the world. So that's,
Okay.
I think,
Okay, pause. Just keep muscles of wisdom. Just pause for a second. We're coming back to you. Okay, thank you. You've just said so many things that really speak to me, but I don't want to make this about me. Sometimes it's great for people to hear from third
yeah.
parties. I don't want to make this all about what I'm saying, right? I want you guys
Mhm.
to have a voice too. So Marie, okay, for somebody wanting to come in, same question. Somebody wanting to come into corporate America and they're thinking, where do I even start? Um, is it for me? I mean, what would you say from your experience? What would you say?
Good. That's a very good question because like I said, I've been, talking to a lot of people that, they really want to get into corporate, but they don't know where to start. And one of the things that Marie said was get out of yourself. You know, is something for me. I always tell them, one, you have to be determined. Is this something that I want to do? You have to make up your mind for it. It's not something that you want to jump in one leg here, you're still thinking about other options. No, you want to be determined and you want to take time and invest in yourself.
Yep.
Getting in a new field, it's hard work. It's hard work. I see people telling me, okay, I've done this and I'm not able to get a job. What do I do? And I turn back and ask them, how determined are you to get a job? If you see an application out there, do you know how many people apply for that same job?
Yeah.
What will make you stand out is
Mhm.
by investing in yourself. I tell people corporate America is not like how do you call it, like space, something out of the
Yeah.
norm that you can
Mhm.
do. Yeah, you just have to stand out. You have to get to a place where you tell yourself, okay, what trainings do I need to get? If I need certifications, do I have them?
Mhm.
What have I really put into it? And at
Yep.
times I tell people, applying for a job, it's a full-time work. If you don't create time to apply for a job, you are
Yes.
not ready to get into something new.
Mhm.
Looking at myself, for example, when I started getting applying for jobs, I will put 2 3 hours a day that I spend just to apply. I will apply like 10, 20, 30 jobs a day. Keep applying. I will be
Yep.
rejected. But guess what? I keep applying the same company,
Mhm.
same position. As long as I see it online, I'll go in and apply. But some
Mhm.
people will tell me, I've applied for that job, they rejected me. And so what? These
Yeah.
are big companies. They have multiple teams that you can work with. They can
Mhm.
reject you here. Another manager is looking for the same position with another team. You
Yep.
keep applying. So,
Mhm.
my advice, or what I can tell people that are trying to get into corporate, is determine, make up your mind that this is what I want.
Yeah.
And now, how can I invest in myself? If it's a field that I want to get into it,
Mhm.
do I need to get trained on it? Do I need to get certifications? Do I need to go
Mhm.
back to school? This is not space. I mean, life
Yeah.
is simple. What
Yeah.
you give in life is what you take out of life. You
Energy.
cannot just assume that you will just end up someday in corporate. No, you have to
Mhm.
put in the effort. You have to be determined. And
Yes.
guess what? It's possible. You can do it.
Mhm.
Right. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
what I can say, for those that are wanting to get into corporate.
Yes.
Thank you both. I mean, you dropped like major wisdoms here today. And the thing that I hear you both echo is invest in yourself. Learn, learn, learn. If you're
Mhm.
wanting to get a job, are you certified for that job? It doesn't matter if you didn't study in that field. People change fields all the time. Cross
Mhm.
train, cross train, get certification, spend the time. It
Mhm.
will take time. I remember when I started to get my certifications, I had to study. I studied like I was back in school. I mean,
Mhm.
a 7 hour test. Keisha, I think you may have taken the same test. 7 hour test, however many questions, it is hard work. There are a lot of
Mhm.
people who didn't succeed who gave up, but you have to be, like Keishan said, there is a wealth of information out there about anything. It's up to you and me what we decide to pick up, what we decide to learn. Okay, invest in yourself, learn from others. That's one thing that Keishan said.
Yes. Learn
Not
from
only as
others.
a business owner, but even as an employee, right? There are more tenured employees or more tenured business owner. Shadow them for a day. Find some time to get them as mentors to kind of lead you. For example, Marie in her field, she's already been there, she's done that. If you're thinking about getting into that space, call her up and say, I need to get into the same thing. How can you direct me or how can you advise me? So these are all some things that I feel. And one thing that Marie said is you cannot be one leg in, one leg out. One thing I've been noticing a lot is that people are just jumping with the most famous job that's out
Trend.
there these days.
Mhm.
People are just jumping on that bandwagon. If it's this today, we're there. If it's this today, we're there. That is a sure way to fail.
Yeah.
That is a sure way to fail, right? So let me not talk too much. So you have to be determined. Like Marie said, apply for the same position with the same company over and over because corporate America, these companies are huge.
Yeah.
Sometimes one department may need something, one department may not. It's all in the hiring manager. And she made a very important point that over time, I've heard the same point made to me by my manager as well, my former manager. He said, Phoebe, if you're going to apply for a position and you know that this is what you want,
Yep.
consistently apply for that position. Show that you're interested. Call the manager and say, do you have any work that I can do? Do you have any training opportunities that I can take on? When that manager is looking for somebody to hire, you're going to be the first person to think about. And we also made mention of the fact that when you start applying to all these different roles that really have nothing to do with each other, companies do see this. Hiring
Yeah.
managers do see this. They're like, okay, if
Mhm.
this person applied for an operations role and they apply for a tech role and then they apply for a business continuity role, it's like, okay, where do they want to be? Are
Yeah.
they being serious? Are they steady? Are they gonna leave? You
Yeah.
get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not to really talk too much. Thank you both for bringing out this very important point.
And
Now, go
one
ahead.
thing, if I want to add something else to that, at times I've come to realize that people really want to go in for something, but the people that they have around them, their peers,
Mm.
it can be family, it can be friends, it can be colleagues, and people who like, you know, don't stop deceiving yourself. Do you think you
Yeah.
can be one of them? At times those voices do matters.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the people you mingle with? Are there people that
Yep.
can tell you, oh yes, you can do this, go for it, we support you? Or are
Mhm.
you among people that are like, no, that's not for me, that I don't think I
Yeah.
can do that?
Yeah.
That also matters in
Yeah.
starting a
I always
business,
say that.
getting into a job. The people that
Mm-hmm.
you mingle with, the voices that you keep hearing over and over, you
Yeah.
have to be careful with that too.
Yeah,
Thank
that's why I always say energy is universal. It's not just in your personal life. I know
Mm,
I see a lot of people post like I want the same energy that I'll give out, the same energy that people give me,
mm,
but the same energy that you want in a company, or the same energy that you want in a role, or the same energy that you just want in your business, you have to give that same energy. And I feel like that's how synergy forms, right? Like you have to everything has to be aligned,
mm,
and it has to go the right way. But if it doesn't, it's gonna feel real fast, and you're gonna be able to tell that the energy is off. So I think it's important to have a good energy. It's important to make sure one thing I always say too is contemplation. It keeps us from success because we contemplate whether or not we want to go into something, or we contemplate constantly that whether or not we want to do something, and that keeps you from going. And I read this book, and this lady, she has this method. She does the 5 4 3 2 1 method, because she says every time she says about talks about motivation, is motivation really real? And I was like, wow, like I've never heard nobody say that before. Like talk against motivation.
mm,
And she was saying that, sometimes people use motivation incorrectly. And I didn't know that you can use it incorrectly. And she was saying that you can you can talk yourself out of something just saying by saying, I want to motivate myself
Yeah.
to do something. How can you motivate yourself if you're not? It has to be within your mind that you actually want to do it. Because when you say, I want to motivate, you're contemplating
mm.
doing something, you're not actually doing it. So, um, if you want to do something, do it.
Just do
If
it.
you just do it, don't think about it. One thing about business, it's a risk, right?
Right.
But everybody has a risk level. You know your risk level, you
Mm-hmm.
take it. Like a millionaire, he risked that entire $1 million to become a
Mm-hmm.
billionaire, I'm sure.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
you have to risk, and like I said, when we went all in. BB, I talked to you plenty times. Like we went all in. And when you go all in, you go all in right. Set it up, like set your representation up, set your company up right. Make sure you have your LLC, make sure you label right, make sure you take care of your intellectual property, make sure you know, lock down your name, the name of your company, like make sure you take care of that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, guess what? It's yours,
Yeah.
nobody else. So
Right.
the risk is on you,
Yes.
how far you want to take yourself.
Yes.
So I don't think that people realize that. And I think that's the same thing about when you want to go into corporate America. The risk is on you.
Yeah.
Guess what? If Donald Trump can be the president, and he never was a part of the
Don't think
state
it-
government, he was
Never.
never a Congress member, and
Right.
he went straight to a president, that should tell you something.
It's possible.
You can apply and be whatever you want to be. If
Yeah.
you want to be the president tomorrow, I don't know, but go ahead and apply to be the president. So
Yeah.
um, good luck to you. But make sure you do your homework. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you're like Marie said, surround yourself with the right people. It is so, so important.
Mhm.
And that's the one thing I can say about transfers. Like we have a family surrounded by us. Like people support us on the outside and be like, they be excited. What y'all doing? What y'all got going on?
Yeah.
And it's you gotta have that. You need that. That motivates you. That keeps you going.
Well, thank you for dropping those with wisdom. Um, okay, well, you guys have said a lot. So I guess one of the things I really want to also just focus on a little bit again is you talk about your environment, right? You talk about going all in. You talk about
Mhm.
risk. Life carries risk.
Yeah.
Belinda Brown says your environment matters. Who do you mingle with? Yes, your environment matters. Who do you mingle with? And like Key Marie said, they have a whole family of people supporting them, right? And to the extent that even if they feel like giving up, of course, that familial support
Mhm.
goes a long way. Okay, so Key Marie, you did mention something that I really want to talk about. And I'm going to start with Marie, the other Marie.
Okay.
Marie F. I'm going to start with you first. You talked about, um, basically, you've talked about when you come out right. When you want to start, go all in, get
Mhm.
all your stuff right. And when people hear that, they only think, okay, I got to get my business plan, I got to get the kind of job I want, and just get the plan, applying. But there is a physical aspect to it too. We are our own brands, right? We're a walking billboard. I have seen all kinds of things when it comes to the employment space, from the way we do our resume, from the way we write our cover letters, to the way we show up in interviews. Now, I love color. I am not against color. Generally, I love color. But Marie, I'm just going to let you talk a little bit. How should one present themselves, right? Whether going for a business opportunity, whether knocking down on people's door for investments, whether going for a job interview. How do you physically appear? How should you carry yourself?
Yeah, that's a very at times I see people even at work, when let's say my company is hiring and my manager kind of interviewing people. I see people come for interview. I'm like, do you really need this job? You know, the way you present yourself, your dress. I mean, you want to come for an interview. You want to. I mean, there are corporate attires out there. Even if you don't know how it looks like, go to Google. They have pictures online. You go to the store, pick a picture. I mean, when I started my career, I did crazy things. I will go on online, get a picture online, and I walk into a store. I have that picture on my phone, looking for that exact dress. This is
Mhm.
how I want to look. This is how I want to present myself. I
Why?
want to come in front of somebody and just my appearance alone speaks.
Yes.
You don't just want to walk into an interview room. You have your how do they call it? This thing you dress like you're going to a party,
Oh, yeah.
and you have your handbag, your makeup, your dress. You I mean, like, you want to be presentable.
Yes.
You There's this saying that dress the way you want to be addressed, right? There are some people that they just take anything for granted, including their interview. My advice to people is, you want to present yourself, look at yourself in a mirror before stepping out of that door. How do
Mhm.
I look? You don't need
Mhm.
somebody on the left, somebody on the right to tell you how you look. You have to
Right.
tell yourself, I'm ready
Mhm.
for this. I look
Mhm.
good. I'm going in
Mhm.
for this. I'm gonna get this
Mhm.
job. That's another part of it. Speaking what you want to see and
Yeah.
dressing the way you want to be addressed. So those of you that are wanting to get in, it can be a business. You want to get a loan to start your own business, and you walk into a bank, and you dress up like crazy. Even
Mhm.
though the banker will like, what? Who is this? Are you really ready for this loan? Just
Yeah.
imagine you getting a loan of 100, 200,000, and you
Mhm.
walk in there as you're going to a store, you're going to shop around. No. So always present yourself well,
Yes.
be decent, be modest, and
Mhm.
and speak to yourself. Speak what you want to see, what you want
Mhm.
to get, and trust me, you'll get it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is what I want to have to say.
Thank
To those
you.
that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for adding that. And Key, I'm going to come to you in just a second. The next question is for you. Marie F has kind of given us a breakdown of how we should look like, what we need, a few things that we need to do. I'm going to come to you, Key Marie. In this environment of COVID, we may not have to get up and go into a physical location to interview. Okay.
Mhm.
So, along the same lines of the same question I asked Marie, what are some of the things you can add in attaching the fact that we are in a COVID environment? What are some of the things we need to be doing interviewing remotely, job searching remotely?
Oh, um, Phoebe, I think I'm speechless finally. Um, I just have to say representation. I just have to show you guys. I do have on my shirt. So I do wear my transfer shirt
Converge.
too every weekend.
Wow.
um, yeah, that's how you brand your company. So I do wear my clothes every weekend. I do everywhere I go. I do represent myself. But as far as the interview, you're interviewing remotely. I know everybody heard about the incident when a guy was on his cam. I know, but I think that you just have to be. It's going to be different. COVID has definitely shifted gears for us, right? It
Mm-hmm.
has let us know that one thing for certain is that there is this game right now is about to be endless. So I don't know if you know, but it is endless. You get your certificates, get everything that you need. Take a course. You're able to take courses that you never were able to do because you were so busy going out to work. Now
Yeah.
you're home. Take care of yourself at home and take care of your mind too. As far as appearance on camera, girl, put on some clear makeup, get you some great lighting.
Mhm.
Make sure that you are dressed to impress still. And I mean from head to toe. And I am like Marie. There have been times I realized that I felt horrible working from home. And that was those days were when I actually was not dressed up. I
Yeah.
was probably just in some sweats and a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Still, even working from home, try to dress yourself up, put some makeup on, tell yourself that you're beautiful, tell yourself that you got this. You know, I'm so sorry, guys. My alarm is going off in the background, but you
Sorry, do you want
have
to
to
get
take,
it?
yeah,
Sorry, I kind of took her off so she can go get it.
Sure.
Um, Okay. Anyway, but yeah, to
Mm-hmm.
the point of what she was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the
Yeah.
point of what she was saying, it's very valid. I think she's back. Go ahead.
I'm back. Sorry. You
Okay.
have to make sure your appearance is on point. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is so important. And even when I'm on my calls on, Wednesdays and Fridays, I make a point to get up extra early. I don't put any makeup on, but I do comb my hair and I actually take the time before I get on camera to be presentable. I think it's important. Your it helps your morale. I
Yeah.
don't care. Like people say that some people that you sit next to when you're not in the office anymore,
Hmm.
your person that's sitting next to you is you. You're the only person that can motivate you to keep going. And so you have to make sure that you're presentable in a place. Make sure your workstation is sturdy. Make
Yeah.
sure your workstation is clean when you come on camera to be interviewed. Don't just, make sure you're ready. Make sure you're in a quiet place. So those are my little tidbits. I'm not um, really opposed to online interviews. I like them, but I do like in person interviews better.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but like I said, like this COVID thing has showed that everything in the world is endless now. It's
Yes.
endless possibilities.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure a lot more is going to come out
Yeah.
about how we can change the game.
Yeah. And to your point, Keyshawn, mm, if you watched the last session I had last week, I talked about this. It doesn't matter the fact that some of us are working from home. Get up, take a shower, get dressed, act as though you're going into the office. You don't have to wear makeup, right?
Yeah.
But make sure your workspace is clean because it gives you a morale boost, right?
Yeah.
Working from home, you can start to get cabin fever at some point. So you want to do things that will basically help you put your best foot forward. Now, as far as interviewing remotely, I talked about that on my last session as well. So if you want to hear more about that, go over there. Like Belinda Brown says, I think after presenting yourself, self-confidence matters too. And that's true. And a lot of this tips and bits and things that we give is so your self-confidence can remain intact or even boost it up a little bit. So interviewing from home, the aspect of self-confidence I want to touch on is I have interviewed from home in this COVID environment and have actually changed employment. Right? And I never had to step my foot outside. Everything came to me. What are some of the things that I did differently? Because I knew I was on camera, I made sure that everything from torso up was presentable. And I
Mhm.
mean presentable. If I am used to wearing, less muted makeup, I went very muted.
Yeah.
If I had a lot of things going on in my background, I took it down because I wanted to put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
And I became a lot more, how do I put it? Expressive, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
when you're not in person with somebody, it's a lot difficult for them to read you
Oh
than
yeah.
when you're in person with them, right? You can get their
Mhm.
vibe, you can pick up their feel and everything. But when you're remote, they're not able to see you physically. So you have to be very expressive. Speak with your hands.
Mhm.
I speak with my hands a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't be expressionless.
Right.
Find a
Yeah.
way to get some expression in your face.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Be engaged. Nod your
Yeah.
head. Say yes.
Yeah.
Smile.
Right.
Mhm.
Smile.
Yep.
Mhm.
You
It's a
understand?
human. You're talking with a human being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
friendly, right? Be friendly.
Yep.
One of the things that I took out, which I believe is what made this manager remember me, is in the background he had like a placard and it said his name and then it said farm. And before we got off that call, I said, "Oh, do you have a farm?" And he said, "No, why?" And I was like, "That thing behind you." And then it opened up a whole can of a whole nother conversation. He told me a
Mhm.
lot more about himself, and I knew I from there I could learn who he was, and I had conversations along those lines. So when he
Mhm.
gets on the phone of the video conference with me, he would remember that person who noticed the thing in the background and talked about it. It shows
Right.
that I am very aware
Mhm.
Yes.
already.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
skill.
That's
You're
true.
very aware. You're very analytical.
Inquisitive. Yep.
Sorry,
Inquisitive for sure.
you're
Yeah.
inquisitive.
Mhm.
That's it. You're inquisitive. Okay, not to hammer on that point. So let's move forward to some actionable items. In this environment, Marie, you started a training. Keyshawn, you're still running your trucking business. Okay. How do you stay afloat? What are some of the recommendations that you give people? How do you keep your head up? How has business changed for you? And anyone can go.
I want to say like with COVID, it's it's definitely been a good thing. I think that before COVID, I feel like we were just turning our wheels because we were so busy. But COVID allowed us to slow down and actually kind of pinpoint where our pain points were and take care of those pain points. So we've been able to kind of work on those one action item at a time
Mm-hmm.
and actually just, which allowed us to not only make sure that our money and our company was in line, but we also made sure that our goals were aligned, you know, and we've been able to skill and save and do things that some companies it may take them a little longer to do, and that's just because we just have a good operation system in the background. I think that people you can't just have the job, but you got to operate. You got to have the operating going, and that means that you got to have the setup right. Everything, from the communication to my drivers. Like the drivers all wear uniforms. Like every truck that you'll see on the road. Now we have 3 trucks on the road. We got 2 on the road this year. So, that's been a big thing for us. And so now it's like everything is triple the amount of work. And so now it's like triple the compliance work, triple making sure the drivers are meeting their destinations on time. And so just having to do all of those things, like it keeps you humble. Like, it makes you realize, wow, dog, I didn't even have all of this time before. But like, it's like now it's like, I got to figure out how to make sure that we stay running, how we stay focused and how we stay with our feet on the ground and stay planted and rooted. And so that we can keep pushing and elevating into, what we want to see, so that's how we've been able to survive.
Awesome. I mean, you talk about um, in the normal days, back in the days before COVID
Days
is
when
what I mean. So last year,
yeah.
we were people were so busy. It's like we
Yeah.
were hamsters chasing and a wheel just turning. And
Hmm.
COVID, whether for business owners or for individuals, it's given us a chance to slow
Yeah.
down. COVID has given us a chance to kind of slow down, reevaluate our goals, reevaluate the things that we're chasing. It's not all about money, right?
No.
We're
Right.
starting to learn that this life is not all about money. There are a lot of things
Right.
that are
Mhm.
also as important. Money is good. Don't get me wrong. Money is good.
Yeah, I love money, but money is not the end all be all, and I think that we had to learn it too,
Yeah,
during COVID because the trucking industry is $85 billion, right? So during COVID, we were still running, but I still had downtime
yeah,
to fix some of the things that needed to be fixed,
yeah,
So I think that you just have to figure out what it is that your business needs. What are your business needs? What
yeah,
does your business want?
yeah.
You know,
Marie, you were gonna say something.
No, I said money. I mean, money is everything, though.
Yeah.
So you can do
Money,
without
money, I don't know. I don't understand people who are like, money is not every money. Gets
money.
the wheel
Is
turning.
trust me.
yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
it
deceive
does.
yourself. Money is
M-
everything.
Yeah.
Money is that avenue, y'all. It's
Yeah,
the
It is.
avenue.
It
Mhm.
is. It is. So yeah. So the COVID environment has helped us slow down as a business, and I'm sure a lot of businesses in America, the
Right.
ones that are not directly involved with finding solutions for the COVID environment, it's caused us to slow down. Okay. And another thing you pointed out is pain points. So
Hmm.
whether as a professional or in my for example, as a professional in my personal life as a business owner, it's caused me to reevaluate what was working, what was not working. And
Right.
sometimes these conversations with yourself are
Mhm.
difficult. These conversations
Hmm.
with your businesses are difficult,
Mhm.
right? But you have to have them. So for
Yeah.
people who are wise, for business owners who are wise, they use this environment as a means to kind of make sure that their operations, their day-to-day operational processes still align with their goals,
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
company goals. Now, as a professional, the way you can apply this is
Mhm.
how does my current job apply to my purpose?
Yeah.
How does my current job speak to what I want to do the rest of my
Right.
life?
Right.
Right.
There's still so many opportunities, right? There's still so many opportunities in this COVID environment to get a job. Like I said, I got a job.
Mhm.
There are many
Hmm.
people I know who are still getting a job. It's just
Right.
Right.
about how are you positioning yourself? Like
Yeah.
Marie said, when you apply for a job, you're not the only one applying for it, especially
Mhm.
No.
now where a lot of people are unemployed. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
one position can see hundreds and hundreds of applications. And a lot of recruiters don't even go through
Mhm.
manually. It's a system. It's
Mhm.
an
Yeah.
algorithmic system that
Hmm.
flips through the applications, picks up keywords, and I'm going to make a very strong point now. If you're looking for a job, or you're thinking you want to get a job, and then you're redoing your resume, go online, find out what are those hot words that when the
Yeah.
system flips through, what
Mhm.
are those words to look for
Yeah.
generally
Keyword.
within your field,
Mhm.
within your sector, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
start weaving in those words into your resume.
Mhm.
And then I know, like, on the flip side to that, I know, like, I've noticed, like, just in the trucking industry before, like, they didn't have so many people, they didn't even know nothing. Like, not saying they didn't know about trucking, but they just wasn't interested. but now everybody's flooding the game,
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
and it's because, like you said earlier, how people are just finding a wave to ride. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to find your passion. What are you passionate about? What's going to make you go out and get the money? What's going
Right.
to
Yeah.
go out and make you build your business? What's going to go out and make you be that person that you want to see every day when you wake up in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's not all about the money, but it's all about the money,
Yes.
and so people see, like, oh my god, like, oh, they making all this money, and people posting, and
Mm-hmm.
social media will do that to you. Like, it will make you think that stuff is happening, but you don't realize the work that people have to really do to get to that $2.09 a
Yeah.
mile. Like,
Yeah.
it's some negotiating behind that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I don't think that people get that. But do your research. You have to do it. It's every role that you go and apply for, it may not be for you.
Yeah.
Like, you may want to do that, but that may just not be your thing. But
Exactly.
you have to figure it out. You have to figure out who you are, whose you are, and who you want to be when you grow
All
up.
right. All right. Okay.
You don't
Figure
wanna
out who
you
you
don't wanna
are,
get me started.
who you are, and
You
who
don't
you
wanna get
want to
me
be.
started.
Where you get
Yeah.
started, please get
Mhm.
started. You want
Yes,
to talk
yes.
about it? Talk about it. Because sometimes we forget, we don't even know who we are. We don't even know whose we are, right?
No,
We don't even know who we want to be.
We wanna
no.
be.
So
Mm-hmm.
before we can apply all these things that we're talking about right now, we need to kind of figure out who am I? Who are
Yeah.
you?
Where
Who
are
do
you
you want to
heading?
be?
Where are
Yeah,
you heading? What do you
yeah,
want to
Where?
become? You
yeah,
have
Thank
to
you.
ask yourself those questions. If you don't, trust
Yeah.
me. That's why people are jumping here and there.
yes,
What is the trend right now? I jump into
yes.
it the next time. Where
Hmm.
are you heading? Do you have a
Yeah.
Yes.
destination? How can
Hmm.
you tell I've arrived?
Yeah.
These are questions you need to ask yourself as an
Hmm.
individual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know you've arrived to where you're
Yeah.
heading? What
I
are your
love
Mm-hmm.
it.
goals? Right?
Yes.
So all these
Hmm.
things we need to start coming up with, and this environment is a great environment than any to start analyzing these goals. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just go back to the comment section and just kind of um, let's just kind of look and see what are some of the things that people are saying. Well, let me give a shout out to everybody I can see. Welcome, Patricia Lenford. Welcome, Bookie. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Eugenie. Hi, Silas. Hi, Catherine. Jeremy. Hi, Natalie. Claudia. Hi, and Collins. Jerry Collins. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining. Please share the video. We're coming to an end if you have not yet. So I'm just going to take a second and look through and see the points that people have made. You have to first know your value. Washington
Mm.
says you have to first know your value, just in line with what we're saying. What is your value? What is your selling point? Why should they hire you? Right? As
Yes.
a professional, why should people hire you? Why should an employer hire you? What value are you going to add? Because
Mm.
sometimes it's not all about hire me, hire me. What value are
Yes.
you going to add?
Hmm.
Okay?
Right.
As a business, why
Yeah.
should a customer come to you? How
Mm-hmm.
do you get clients? What value are you going to add? Is it worth
Yep.
their time and their money? Okay.
Yes.
And it's important to have a good energy, Roger says. Um, let's see if there's any other thing else I'm missing. All my guides on YouTube, if you have any things you want to pinpoint, we are coming to an end. So if you have a question, please post the questions below. I don't see any more comments. I don't see any more questions. But so what I'm going to do now is I came across a listing on Indeed. So if you're trying to figure out where do you start to look for jobs, right? Indeed.com is where I have always gotten all, if not most, of my jobs
Okay.
on Indeed.com. Now, I don't know about any of you guys. Do you use Indeed as well?
I use Glassdoor, Indeed, LinkedIn as well. So
Yeah. I get a lot of I get a lot of them from LinkedIn,
mhm.
but I think that when I was hired by the company that I work for now, I actually found it in a newspaper. I don't.
Really?
Okay, do not let go of the past. Okay, I know we are digitally inclined, but the newspaper still exists.
Okay.
Like, go through that classified. Do not, don't let the classified go.
Yeah,
Um, I would say still look there.
yeah. So for those of you who don't remember the yellow, is it the yellow book?
Mm.
The phone book?
The yellow
That you-
pages.
Yellow
Yellow
pages.
pages.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Hmm.
I have
It's
yellow
online. Yeah, no.
pages? Like you flip through the yellow pages to find people and businesses.
Yeah, find people phone number. Yes, like do not hang up on the classified section.
Yeah,
Okay, it is still there. People still post in the classifieds.
yeah,
So
yeah. So, Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
People are sleeping on LinkedIn.
Right.
yes, they are.
If you
Have
don't
to
have
have
a
a
LinkedIn,
profile.
if you don't have a LinkedIn profile that looks professional with a professional picture,
Yes.
nowadays getting professional headshots is not only for when you want to do something
Um,
or your birthday is around the corner. Book
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
appointment, go to Target, Walmart,
Yep.
wherever. Get You can take it yourself. Get good lighting, plain background, get a good camera, and get
Yes.
yourself a headshot. Update
Yes.
your LinkedIn profile. Now, if
Yes.
you are sending out your resume, another mistake we make is if you are sending out your resume, okay, and you're in this side of the world, try not to include your picture. Unless, of course, you are in the arts and design and whatever
Right.
industry, the creative
Yes.
industry. I
Yes.
see a lot of people include their photograph on their resume. Okay, don't do that. Okay,
No.
don't do that
Don't
yet.
do that.
If
Mm-hmm.
you're wanting to get a view of yourself, they will track you down on LinkedIn, which is why
Right.
I
Yes.
that make sure your LinkedIn profile is
It's,
proper,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
updated, has
Yes.
everything you want an employer to see. And I've had people reach out to me, not because I've applied for a job, but because they're like, oh, this person may be good for this position. And they reach out to me.
Hmm.
You get what I
Yeah.
mean? So all of what we're saying, myself and the ladies, all of what we're saying is so you all can succeed. It is
Yes.
possible for people succeeding in this environment. Don't be left out, whether in business. When I I don't want to go into the businesses I do, but
Hmm.
learn how to go with the flow. Learn
Yes.
how to quickly change. Don't be so we shouldn't be so stuck in our ways that
Right.
change is something we don't embrace. As a
Yes.
business, be agile, like Marie, that's your
Yes.
specialty.
Hmm.
Yes.
In
Yep.
order for you to have business continuity and succeed, you have
Mm-hmm.
to be agile, right? You have to apply different methods of doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Get
Yes.
I agree.
opinions, get ideas, like
Yeah.
Keisha, I know you can agree with this one. Get customer opinion. How do
Oh
we do
yeah. Yes,
Right.
we definitely have a system. We have a system in place that we ask like, how did our driver do?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, be honest.
Survey.
Get yourself on Google. People want to be able to see whatever your business is, advertise your business on Google. Make sure you get those reviews posted on Google. Make sure you're on social media branding.
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I think it's a good thing. Definitely, I know people that make millions of dollars on social media, right? But social media it's a twofold. It's to presentation and
Mm-hmm.
also for you to network. But as Phoebe said earlier, you are your business brand. You are the job that you're wanting. You're your brand. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not presenting yourself in a way to build or to get positioning yourself to get that, then you're not going to get it. Like you're that's like not speaking into yourself almost. So
Yeah,
you have to do it. And like that's something that me and him talked about when we first started. Like, okay, he was like, well, just an example. He was like, well, let me just go to the dollar store and get the numbers for the DOT, it's the Department of Transportation numbers that you have to put on the side of your truck. He's like, well, I'm gonna just go to the dollar store and get those numbers. And I was like, get the numbers? I was like, no, we're gonna find somebody that's gonna do this right and do it beautifully. And every day we talk about it and we laugh about it because it's so funny, how mindsets, right? Different mindsets have different thoughts. So when you bring two mindsets together, then you can come up with a powerful idea and you don't even realize it, and it happens. And
yeah,
so I think that you just have to present yourself right at all times. I went to a high school where we walked in a door, our uniform skirts had to be to our knees, and they measured it. We had to have our shirts tucked in, and we only can wear black shoes. I believe in being uniformed.
So,
So make sure everything matches. Make sure not just your picture match, but make sure your profile match your pictures. Make sure your wording is correctly. Make sure you use spell check. That is a huge problem. I can't be pretty and not use spell check.
Oh my.
Okay, and not misuse the words there, and there. I don't know, but that's, hey, that's another story. Or you, and your. I don't know. That's another story. That's a different conversation. But I'm just saying, like, make sure that you are presented well. Make sure that you present yourself, your brand. Make sure you are marketed. You are marketable. Where somebody says Keyshawn, they don't even call me by my name anymore. It's like, that's Key Marie Murphy. Okay, and I want people to know that is Key Marie Murphy. So whenever I walk, they're gonna know that's Key Marie Murphy. I saw her.
Hmm.
I spoke with her,
Yeah.
you know, and we
Yeah.
had a great conversation. And
Yeah.
that is always the goal. So
Well,
and that's hard work. It's hard
oh
work.
yeah, it's hard. It's
Some
difficult.
people, some people think, life is luck. I mean, personally, I am one of those people. I don't believe in luck. There
Me
are two
neither.
things I believe in life: the favor of God and hard work.
yeah.
Yes.
If you're not ready to put in that work,
Hmm.
everything Marie just said is hard work.
Yeah.
Profile, going to the store to get a picture, making sure that everything matches. That is work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody will do it for you, right? So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
guys, we just need to put in hard work, and
Yeah.
it always pays. Hard work always pays.
Always,
Matter what.
always.
Yeah.
Thank you both, ladies. We are coming to the end of our hour. I know we can go on and on and on, but unfortunately, we have to bring this to an end. Now, I was going to talk about the 20 most requested certifications. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy and paste in the comment section. That way, we can all read it. So I'm not going to go through and read it all, but I'm going to be posting the 20 most requested certifications per Indeed that hiring managers are looking for. I apologize if I have just spammed everybody, but there you have it. Read through it. It's all there, and this is what if you're thinking about learning a new skill, cross training, moving industries. These are some of the areas that managers are looking to hire in. So I always do this with any of my guests that come on. I need to know what is one thing you want us to remember you by. What is one fun thing about you? A color, uh, give us a fun thing, a destination you've been to, just one, quickly.
Mm.
I love traveling.
You love traveling. What's the
Yeah.
most amazing place you've been to so far?
Disney with my kids. Oh my goodness.
Disney.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they love. I myself enjoyed the trip, and yeah, I do. I love traveling.
yeah,
COVID has put everybody on hold, but
yeah,
guess what? We'll still travel.
yeah.
Yeah. One fun thing about me is traveling, spending time.
Traveling. I love traveling too, and I think we've connected in
Yes,
the
she
past
does.
pieces of.
I
Okay.
She
know
does.
you.
She does love traveling for
Love
sure. She cannot story about that. Anytime you're in UK for COVID,
I know.
that was her. I
Uh,
think one thing I would like people to remember about me that's fun is that I think my life is just starting. Um, I think my journey is just starting. I haven't even touched the surface of it. Um, and that's just a fun fact. I'm not, I have been to Cali a couple of times this year, so um, I love the view there. It's awesome. But of course, I get to visit with my little beautiful nephew. So he just turned. He's making two soon.
too.
Um, yeah, so that's one of my little prize joys right now. And, of course, spending time with my family lately, it's been really good. But for the most part, like I believe my journey is just beginning, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Both what Marie said and what you said, Key Marie. One thing we forget is we can get into the grind of work, achieving, and
Mhm.
sometimes forget the other things in life that matter. For Marie, it's traveling and spending time with family. Disney. I mean, come on, Disney of all places. However, it's it's the things that bring us joy, right? These are the things that give us joy. And like Key Marie, you said, you're just starting. I mean, you've talked about the business, you've talked about profession, being a professional, and all of these things you're trying to do, and yet you're still thinking, I am just starting.
Just
So
starting.
today has been packed with a lot of things. If you please stuck with us from beginning to end, thank you so much. Let me see if someone new can give a shout out. Thank you, Jiri. Thank you, Issey Miyaki. Thank you.
Mhm.
And thank you all guys who commented. Luck is only when preparation meets opportunity. Thank you, Washington, Don. Thank you, Abby. Okay, perfect. So I think we kind of captured a lot of what we were wanting to talk about today. Um, Potentially next week I will be having the last show of this year. It depends on how things go. However, in the new year, and this is just a quick announcement for everybody watching. In the new year, I'm going to be running a session. Starting from January for small businesses, right? Small business owners and people who are entrepreneurs. If you have a great business idea and you're already working on it, come on, let's talk. Let's talk to other people about how you got started. Let's publicize your business. A lot of small businesses need that help in this COVID environment. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about industry people, professionals who are higher up in their fields. So we have a lot of learning in the new year. So like, subscribe to Frugal Feed. We are on YouTube as well as on Facebook. If you have any questions that you want to reach out to me for, please do. More than happy to answer them. I know a lot of times these sessions are quite short for us to tackle everything. But thank you, Marie from Co-op. Thank you, Q Marie. I am amazed at the wealth of knowledge you guys have. Um, let's see, a few more questions are coming in as I speak. Can you guys put your LinkedIn so we can connect? So very important. The information is important. Yes, I will be posting. We will be posting our LinkedIn profiles. If you need to transport, in fact, Key Marie and Marie Funqua, go and post in the comment section how people can get in touch with you, either for mentoring, if you're open to that, or your businesses, right? So post your LinkedIn information if you would like to within the profile. So out of this, that's all I have for you guys. That's all we have for you guys. If you haven't shared the stream, please do. Next week I will be here, fingers crossed, live again for the last show of the year. Marie, both Marie, thank you.
You're welcome,
Yes,
Phoebe.
thank
And
you.
y'all have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.